All right. So, good morning to you, Jonathan. Good evening to all the angels in QVA. My name is
Good
Noemi.
evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Diane. I'm Noemi Jonathan. I am the customer service manager of QVA and personal assistant of Chase and Crossman. So, on behalf of QVA, I'd like to welcome and congratulate you for choosing QVA to be part of your business. So, it's our pleasure to help you out scaling your business. So, before we get started, Jonathan, I would appreciate if you can introduce a bit of yourself and your business background, please, so we would know more about you.
Sure. So I have about 20 years of experience in executive management in New York. I worked in luxury hotel operations, and I worked in luxury high-rise residential property management operations. And I've done this for 20 years, almost 20 years. And then I kind of decided to take a different path. So a couple of years ago, I had enrolled in school for homeopathy. Homeopathy is the second largest system of medicine on the planet. And I attended a school online through a program based in Greece. And I did this because I had a real interest and passion for holistic medicine. And over the past couple of years, I have been working as a full-time professional homeopath. I left the world of real estate in 2020. And for the past 2 years, I've been a full-time homeopath. Now, while I was working in real estate and management, I had an opportunity many times to train other managers or other supervisors or other employees. So I learned a lot of tools to help teach people improve their productivity, mental constructs to help them address roadblocks and such. And now as a homeopath, I actually dispense medicine specifically for eliminating mental, emotional, and physical roadblocks that are in people's lives. So my business is now going to be transitioning where I'm going to be combining both coaching and holistic medicine together, working with high net worth individuals, people who have high stress positions, people who may be having difficulties, whether in their personal lives or their professional lives, with various roadblocks that are preventing them from reaching optimal performance. And through the use of some of these mental constructs, that they would be coached on in combination with certain dynamic medicines that help kind of alleviate some of these issues, we get a higher level of results in a shorter period of time. And that's what my practice is about.
Well, thank you for sharing, Johnson. So this is a natural medicine that you are currently working on?
So yes, homeopathy is based on natural law. So the number one largest system of medicine in the world is modern medicine. It used to be called heroic medicine. This is what they would do to save your life. Back in the day, it would be amputation, or it would be bloodletting, or all sorts of things that eventually turned into pharmacological medicine, right? Which is, you have a headache, you take an aspirin, you know what I mean? Homeopathy is a very different system than that. It recognizes that each one of us is an individual, and we all experience these things individually. So all of us here, 4 of you with headaches, you may get 4 different medicines for headaches, depending upon what kind of person you are. The chilly person who's an introvert gets a different headache medicine than the extrovert who's always warm. The the headache that you experience in the back of the head is a different medicine than the headache you experience in the front of the head. It's very, very individualized homeopathy. So, you know, that's what kind of sets it apart. There are, like I said, there are 300 million people around the world that use homeopathy, but number one doesn't really like number two because it eats into their profits. So they really don't give us any sort of respect, which is fine, because I really, quite frankly, don't care what people think about me. I only really care about getting results for people who are suffering. So that's what homeopathy is.
Well, thank you so much for sharing, Jonathan. So you've got a different niche from other clients. So it's an amazing opportunity to get to work with you and know more about this practice.
Thank you. I'll give you an example. I have a client. He's a partner in a law firm. So partner, New York City law firm, high stress, high demand. Very, very, difficult kind of job, right? And he finds himself snapping at his colleagues. He finds himself struggling to maintain control over his disposition, right? Or his, almost like his emotions. He finds himself being extremely critical of their work product and not really being accepting when they make minor mistakes. He winds up putting all of the work on his shoulders, and even to his own detriment, where it winds up hurting him. He still feels as though he has to be the one to do this, right? So this is a unique. It's not that unique, but the truth of the matter is that this is how he is suffering in meeting his performance goals, right? These are the roadblocks. These are the things that are causing him difficulty. If he was a little bit more easygoing, if he was a little bit less controlling, if he was a little bit more calm, if he was a little bit more patient, if he was willing to give the reins up to others and allow them to do, their job, the entire operation may be more, successful, and therefore he may receive, greater benefit. He may get bonuses and awards because his whole operation that he's responsible for performed better. But he's struggling with those issues, and he's been to therapy. He's talked it out with psychiatrists who put him on drugs, and it doesn't change anything for him. I gave him a medicine that I made for him that was tailored to his uniqueness. All of a sudden, he starts using it every day, and he starts noticing that he's a little bit more calm, he's a little bit more patient, he's a little bit more in control. He's not as critical over everybody. He's able to kind of give them a little bit more latitude so that they can do their jobs. And as a result of which, after a quarter, performance increased. And it was noticeable by his bosses, who really had no idea about what it was that he was doing. So in addition to the medicine that I gave him, I taught him a little bit. I kind of gave him a little bit more of an understanding over circumstances. And we worked a little bit on mindset and perspective. And that's more of what I guess you guys would be experienced with coaching, in that these are those mental constructs that coaches give to clients for them to wrap their minds around so that they can see things differently and therefore get different results. The truth of the matter is that some people still struggle, even though you've given them those mental constructs. And really what they need is a little bit of a push in the right direction. And that's where my medicines kind of come into play, is because it gave him a little bit of a push in the right direction. So the combination of these mental constructs and this change in perspective that I gave him and the dynamic medicine that I gave him together got him such great results in such a short period of time that people who were observing his performance noticed. That makes sense now?
Yeah, I understand. That's amazing. You've got a great offer to your prospect clients, Jonathan. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, so let's get started. We have Jopet, Rochelle, and Diane that you can ask questions. Feel free to mention their names, and each question they will take turns to answer.
Sure. Well, so the first question I actually would ask the three of you is, who has any experience with natural alternative medicine, and what is that experience? This could be Ayurvedic medicine. This could be traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, herbs. This can be all sorts of alternative healing modalities, Reiki. Anyone have any sort of experience with any of this stuff? Herbal medicine.
Hi, Jonathan. My
Hi.
name is Rochelle. Yeah.
I don't have any experience with that, sir.
Okay. Hi, Rochelle.
Yes.
Tell me.
Yes. I'm sorry. Good evening. Well, it's not that really extravagant, the one that I experience with right now. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with moringa. It's
Okay,
the
sure. The
miracle tree.
plant.
Yes.
Tree of life?
Yes, the tree of life. We
Sure.
actually, my cousin here in the Philippines, she actually owned a company which produces moringa, or the M2. It's also there in New Zealand already and in Australia. That's what me, my mom, and my dad are drinking every day. It's because the fact that there are a lot of, there are a lot of benefits for that. Actually, that's true, because my parents, they are they have diabetes. So they have a lot of, medicines. They have been taking a lot of medicines,
Sure.
which totally, help a bit. But when we started, or when my cousin started to introduce the moringa tea to us, it actually helps. It gives me the energy as well every day. That's what I drink. It's the tea that I drink every morning and every evening. I do have an anxiety, an insomnia as well. So when I started drinking that for the past 3 months, and that was 2 years ago, I have been able to sleep well. So it really helped me a lot. So
Yeah, no,
yes,
moringa is fantastic. We used to live actually down in the U.S.
yes.
Virgin Islands, down in St. Thomas, in a tropical island, and moringa grew there. And many people would produce moringa
Mm.
products and moringa baked goods and all sorts of different forms of using moringa, and it's excellent. So that's great. I'm glad that you're getting the benefit of that.
Yes.
Hi, Jonathan. For me, actually, since I was a child, I have that little book for herbal medicines. I ended up to become a nurse, but I still do take herbal medicines. My father loves drinking this leaves that he put in the water. It helps with his high blood and a lot of things. And also, um, I also believe in me and my mother believe that the moringa, the leaves of the moringa, it helps your swelling be a little bit better, or it will, if you experience some swelling or some pain from accidents, it would be much better. It won't bruise with if you put the moringa leaves that that we warm and put in the affected area. So I also love, here in the Philippines we call it hilot or massage. I actually been to I actually had a slip disc, and I have been to this, I forgot the name, but um I would like to go to an acupuncture, but I have been to another kind of I forgot the name of the some kind of a massage as
Uh-huh.
well that really helped me relieve the pain in my body. So yeah, I do like those things.
That's great. That's very interesting. Helo, deep tissue massage, but it involves intuition of the person. That's very interesting. I've actually never heard of a traditional Filipino healing massage, but that's
There's
very
a lot of
interesting.
here in the Philippines, actually.
That's awesome.
It's a tradition.
So, the reason why I'm asking this, I don't need you guys to be, you don't need to be the alternative medicine person, but I do need you to have a little bit of a familiarity with what it is that I'm doing. Because if I ask you to do something like, I need you to produce me a social media post or something like that. And, the answer that you guys are coming up with is something that's, more mainstream. I'm not really mainstream. In other words, like that's the thing. In other words, like the type of people that hire me are people who are considering alternatives. Most people having anxiety, having issues in their work performance, go to a doctor. The doctor gives them drugs, and they're drugged into this hazy performance that passes as successful. And that's not what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to help people thrive on their own without the use of drugs. So it does require a little bit of an alternative approach. And that means that I need people to be able to be exposed to and open to learning alternative methods, because that's really what I'm doing. The biggest, so here's the, and Naomi will help me with this, but here's the thing that I really need. I need someone to present me and my offer to prospective clients who I don't know, who I have no relationship with, who are just literally somewhere out there in the world, and help me get them interested enough in what I'm talking about so that they would be willing to speak to me on the phone and give me the opportunity to sell them on my offer. And this is, and I've spoken with Jason about this prior, when I originally had interviewed with him and before hiring him. And I actually hired him for another company that I was helping. One of my clients used you guys as well. But my biggest question is that where are you going to find these people? And that's really the thing that I need to have an understanding about in regards to how you guys and how experienced and how good are you at finding these people. Up until now, the past 2 years, I've never advertised my services. I've never solicited for new clients. Every single person that I work with over the past 2 years came to me because of my reputation, or they were referred to me by somebody who knew me. So there was some sort of connection to me for every client that I brought on. These people that you're going to help me bring on, they don't know me from anybody else. And I'm not the kind of person that's looking to post lots of photos of me on boats and on beaches and look at how successful I am and I'm smiling and you want to hire me because you think that I'm happy. I'm not dancing on TikTok videos. That's not how I'm getting my clients. But sitting down and talking to me for a few minutes, and I begin to share a little bit about what it is that I do and how I do it, is attractive in many circumstances for people to give me a shot and consider hiring me. So once I have them on the phone or on a Zoom, I'm good from that point forward. I can pretty much handle it. But I need to, and I don't need to know it now, but I need a little bit of a flavor from you guys as to explaining how you're going to find me these kind of people and your experience in doing that. Anyone can answer first.
Me, sir. Can I go first?
Certainly.
Okay, so as we all know that social media are very exposed to people, especially on LinkedIn. There are professional person that we can um, attract the benefit of using alternative medicine than in using drugs. So the most crucial part in growing the business is getting the leads first. So getting leads from potential customers and booking appointments. So first thing that we will do is we must upgrade your profile. We will turn it into more professional and captivating to potential customers. Then we will share content that it is valuable to the targeted audience, so which belongs to the healthcare industry, and encourage them to participate. And also creating connection or inviting connections to follow the company page or the profile itself, then notifying the team about publishing every new post that we are going to post social media content in different social media platforms like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and also in LinkedIn. And actually, it is just like a repeated stages. So making connection with prospect customers, then getting engagement with those prospects, then knowing their concern and offering what you could give to them on their particular need. And finally, encouraging them to set an appointment with our future client. That's all, sir.
Thank you. Jo Beth?
So for me, I have been doing lead generation for about a year now. But most of my clients are all doing a lot of posts on social media. If you don't want to do anything like that, I will just maybe need the prospect profile that you want, because we could find them we could still find them in different social media platforms. It would be better if I would be logged into your personal account, because with from that there will be people that are connected to you that might be interested, that
Mhm.
I can reach out. Yeah. And
And
once
just so you know, I'm willing to make social media posts. In other words, like I'm willing to send you guys text and say, here's text, you know, can you format this with a picture and put the text in a post and let me see what it looks like for it to go out in social media. I could do stuff like that. I'm fine with that. My thing is that I'm sure that you guys know a lot of what is being done right now. I don't do reels. I don't do
Yes.
reels.
yeah.
I'm not dancing. I'm not dancing with words showing up in my hands. None of that stuff. That's not the kind of, that's not how I present my business. I'm hiring people who work on Wall Street, who work in financial markets.
Yes.
And these are people who are not, for the most part, in their experience, when they have a problem, they go to some sort of psychiatrist and they give them Xanax, and they take Xanax and they numb the anxiety so that they can go back and do $1 million trades on the stock exchange. I'm trying to show these people that I'm somebody who understands their world, because I've worked with people from their world, but I'm offering an alternative approach to it that is probably better for them. And finding them is going to be the hardest thing. I have a LinkedIn. I never really used it, but I have created a LinkedIn and I have some connections on there, and I'm willing to hand over the keys to that so someone else can drive the LinkedIn to get more people and post posts on LinkedIn, which I've never done before. LinkedIn used to be just, you used to connect with other people who worked. Now it feels more like Facebook for like executives or business people kind of thing almost, right? In other words, like you can post posts and people can like the posts, comment on the posts. That's like Facebook for me. My Facebook, on the other hand, I manage that myself. I actually have two separate Facebook accounts. One of them is personal and one of them is professional. I know that there's an issue maybe with you guys accessing Facebook for us on our behalf, unless you are an admin of a group. I don't really do groups too much there. So instead, what I would do in those circumstances, I would just have you guys send me stuff for me to hit the post button on while I'm logged in. So if we create a meme or some sort of social media post, you guys can put it out on LinkedIn and I'll put it out through Facebook. But at the end of the day, I'm going to want you guys to be the ones to format the post, which leads. So I want to give Rochelle an opportunity to speak about how she'll find me clients that are my kind of clients.
Yes, okay, thank you. So yes, LinkedIn actually is a great place for you to get leads, since there are so many business people there. So in order for us to do that, of course, is we need to make sure that we have a compelling profile. We need to make sure that our page is active with inspiring and provocative contents and contributions to conversations. That is actually already happening on LinkedIn. We also need to post relevant contents and updates to ensure that our LinkedIn page is, our page and our profile, they're both strong. So I also suggest that we join LinkedIn groups that our clients and our customers are already in, because LinkedIn actually, the LinkedIn's main draw is actually networking. And we should use that feature to our advantage for lead generation. So connect with current customers and clients on LinkedIn and learn from, who their industry connections are, as they may be relevant to us as well. So in addition, when we connect actually with new leads, we should always use warm outreach. This means that we already know about a bit of them, and we can immediately make propositions that relate to their interests, providing value to them. And lastly, we need to maintain consistent presence on the platform. So I have been working actually as a virtual assistant for the past 9 years. So when it comes to social media, like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, so those are actually basics, or if you want basics, from basics to pro, name it, I can handle it for you. When it comes to experience about photo editing, video editing, I can do those stuff as well.
So my next question is who has experience creating social media posts and with my direction? In other words, with someone's direction. In other words, if I give you, here's the text, and I need you to prepare a social media post that makes this text really shine. And that means that you have to find a photo for it, and you have to, put it all together.
I actually use Canva and Photoshop for, Canva is actually the number one what do you call that, software or people use to especially us virtual assistants to use.
Yeah, I have Canva. That's not my thing. In other words, but I
Yes.
love Canva for the people who actually can do something with it. I cannot. That's just not not how I'm built.
So I have I do have portfolios or I can show you the websites that I used to create the post for them, especially for the moringa, because it has become worldwide already. So I used to
Yeah.
work with them. So yes, like quotes and promoting, getting customers and stuff like that. So yes.
Okay. So I would imagine that that experience also comes to, would lead to, for example, if I wanted to create an ebook or something, if I wanted to create if I had all the content and I needed somebody to lay out and put together an ebook. I know that Canva has templates for that type of stuff. And does everyone feel comfortable putting those kinds of things together?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's part of the job.
Okay. And then Diane, am I
Yes.
pronouncing it right? Diane, how long have you been doing this
Yes.
for?
I've been doing this for a year, but I must say
Mhm.
that I am used to it.
Sure. What's your background before doing this?
I am a social media manager, and I handle multiple social media accounts of my client who had a clothing line in Facebook. So I used to edit photos using Adobe Photoshop as well as editing videos. So it is not a new thing for me.
Sure. And Joe Beth, you were a nurse and you've been
No,
doing this now a
Yeah,
year?
yeah.
for a year, but yes, I am also a clinic manager. As a clinic manager, I actually do stuff like managing our business page. So I also use Canva to edit those posts and pictures to make it more appealing to the followers.
Okay. And Rochelle, you've been doing this for 8 or 9 years, you said.
Yeah, over 9 years I have been doing this.
Okay. You working for anybody like what kind of
No,
coach?
just
Nothing like me.
yes, I actually if ever got the chance to be hired, it's going to be my first time to be working who, it's really interesting. And honestly, I have a lot of, questions also regarding your study. It's because I do have an anxiety
No,
and some yes,
I got that. We'll
and
talk
then
about that.
my sometimes I just snap out with my kids out
I
of
got you.
nowhere.
I got you.
So
You need to hire someone like me. I totally, I got it. It's all good. But I want to ask you something. What kind of clients have you been working with for the past 8 or 9 years? Are you
well,
working with any of these coaches that are being hired for $10,000 a month coaching packages
yes,
where these people are helping their
life
clients?
coaching, life coaches,
Life
entrepreneurs,
coaching,
small business
small
entrepreneurs.
business owners.
The latest client I had actually, he works for, or he has a mental health support counseling company, but he needs to reconstruct his business, so he needed to stop.
Okay, so he's kind of all right. So people who are life coaches that are getting paid big ticket items, right? Here's the thing. I want to know who has experience working with life coaches that are charging between $5,000 and $10,000 a month to their clients. In other words, and doing good business. I mean, and are really kind of doing a lot of business. Who's got those as their clients right now?
Right now, like right
Yeah.
now, well, we don't have one right now.
Okay, but
'Cause
in other words, who have you been working with over? I mean, how much experience do you have working with coaches who have clients who would pay them $5,000 a month for their life coaching services?
I had an experience for like 6 months because
Okay,
they need to end my contract. So
okay, but other than that, who else are you working with? Lower ticket coaches, coaches who are charging $1,000 a month.
as of the moment, yes.
But what about over the past 9 years? Over the past 9 years,
Oh, well, yes, most of them are in Australia.
okay, and these are typically life coaches that are charging large
Yes.
dollars, and you have many of them experience working for many of them,
Yes, mostly in Australia.
and these people were successful in what they were
Yes.
trying to do. Okay. What about you, Jo Beth?
I don't have experience with life coaches, but the industry that I have been was in the fitness niche. I have client that has over a million, about a million followers, and he was charging a lot for his coaching. So, but then there are still a lot of people in his message inbound messages. And I also have been working with a marketing or marketing coach, marketing holistic something coach. So
Mm,
yeah, she is charging about 1,000 for
okay.
her, and she has a lot of followers as well.
Diane, what about you?
I work with a spiritual coach,
Mhm.
but yes, and I am the one who is posting on the social media accounts of her business, like posting gospel and some spiritual words, biblical verses, and yeah, he got a more followers in Facebook, in Instagram, and also he has more connections in LinkedIn. That's all.
Okay. Um, question now for all of you. If I pointed you in the direction of a number of other LinkedIn profiles, Facebook profiles, Instagram profiles, and wanted you to, I don't want to say copy them, but model my type of posts based upon what they're posting. So that, not that we're repackaging what they've posted, but we're repackaging what they've posted in order to increase the amount of content that we're putting out, right? Because we have to put out content every day. We have to post. So sometimes I'm not motivated to come up with a new post that day. Let's be, you know what I mean? It's Monday and I'm struggling a little bit. Had a busy weekend, didn't get a good sleep last night, was up all night working. Now all of a sudden I got to get a post prepared for the day. Don't really necessarily have anything inspiring. So how easily could you be able to go and take a look at the niche that I'm in based upon which profiles I'm telling you to kind of fall in line with, and be able to kind of come up with something that we could post? Is that something you have experience with?
Yes, actually, that's what I have been doing for my previous clients. We just need to be actually creative and innovative. So that's not really a problem. I mean for me, because we do have what you call that, for my Moringa experience before, we have a main website, we have a main Instagram account wherein they post every day. So what I do for my client who is in Australia who also has Moringa, they are actually they franchised Moringa from the Philippines. What I do is this kind of post. I just change the background. I change the wordings that fits to that particular post that they post within that day.
You got it. Perfect. Naomi, I'm good. You need me to keep interviewing them?
It's okay, Jonathan. Thank you so much. And thank you, Angels, for joining us tonight. So yeah, are you able to announce who you wanted to work with, Jonathan?
Yes, I'd like to work with Rochelle.
Okay. Well, congratulations, Rochelle.
Thank you.
All right. Jonathan
Thank you
and
all.
Leanne, thank you for joining us. All right. So Jonathan, we'll go ahead and schedule our onboarding call, okay?
Sure.
Can you do same time tomorrow? Yeah, you're traveling, I guess.
No, I'm not leaving just yet. Hold on a second.
We'll just go ahead and chat on the mastermind group chat, Jonathan.
Hold on, 8:30?
8:30 tomorrow.
Mine tomorrow. Onboarding with Rochelle, is that right?
Yes.
I'll schedule that too.
Okay, I'm gonna put that in for tomorrow, 8:30. I have a phone call